fat transfer. How to get rid of that hanging belly without a tummy tuck. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. For those of you who are interested in pricing, we have to see pictures of you, so you're going to need to schedule a consultation. On Facebook, you can click on the link up above, schedule your consultation. On Instagram, we have a link on the profile, or you can go to our website, myshapelipo.com. So thank you for jumping on here today. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope I can bring some value to you today. If you have any questions on liposuction, fat transfer, how we get rid of that hanging belly without a tummy tuck, any questions that you might have, I'm here to help you today. Yes, Miss Blondie, we don't do tummy tucks. No tummy tucks. So any of the pictures you see behind me throughout this whole talk, none of them had tummy tucks from us. There are some people who have tummy tucks elsewhere and don't get the results that they're looking for and come to us for liposuction. And in many cases, what happens in those situations is those individuals just simply didn't do enough liposuction at the time of their tummy tuck, and that ended up making their body square, so they didn't have the shapes that they were looking for. And the shapes that we're looking for is to creating that hourglass figure and cleaning out the waistline. Everybody has this natural shape. You see this young lady behind me, you know, she was kind of one of the SpongeBob SquarePants type figures where it's just a square shape. She's somewhat short. I don't remember, I want to say, you know, 5'2" maybe, but she has a short torso. And when you fill in the fat in the midsection there, it makes it so you're boxy. And then in some cases, it starts to grow out, and so you get bigger. Get a little bit better lighting here. So those individuals that have that boxy shape, the liposuction is phenomenal because we can take, you know, targeted fat off a specific area to create those hourglass figures and the shapes that you'll see behind us, and it's pretty phenomenal. And there is no tummy tuck needed. There's specific techniques that I utilize that allow for that hanging belly to just go away. And it's not rocket science here. This is just it's physics, really. The reason why your belly hangs is a function of the weight and gravity. The weight's pulling down with gravity, and over time your body will naturally start to stretch and hang because that's the way gravity works. And your body, you will have enough elasticity to hold against that for a period of time, but as you get bigger and time goes on, it starts to droop down. That's why you'll see hanging in the belly, you'll see hanging in the chin, you'll see hanging in the arm. These are all areas where the fat tends to hang, and this occurs over time. This is typically not an overnight type thing. Your body will develop depending on your size. As you get bigger, these problems become bigger. And you can see, you know, this young lady behind me, that she was, you know, a big girl, you know, high BMI. And I want to say she was upwards of 30, or the BMI was like 38 to 40. It's a fairly high BMI. And that big belly, and it's hanging, you see the before picture, it's hanging over her bikini bottom or her underwear. And it's, you know, so it's a substantial hanging. Okay, so it's not just a little bit, but you can see how the fold goes away. And this is just one example. You know, this is one example, and she's, you can see how happy she is afterwards. This is a big thing. It's the confidence that you get afterwards, not having that belly, which allows you to do more things afterwards. Okay, Ms. Munoz, welcome. Just Lay, heavily heavenly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. You know, Facebook's been kind of hot and cold lately. Some days there's people that show up, and other days it seems like it's empty. I guess they're changing the algorithms or something. Miss Kim Walla, she says, I'm ready. You know, here's the thing that I noticed, that the people, when you are ready, it's like it's it's a decision that you make. And when you get so sick and tired of being sick and tired of the bullshit going on in your life, like the fullness, the weight, it's restrictive, it's obtrusive, it stops you from doing things. It limits you psychologically because you tend to hide. You know, when you're fuller, you're embarrassed about certain things. You're embarrassed by wearing certain clothes. You're embarrassed you don't want to be seen in certain places. So you cover up, you hide. And you'll see this publicly on, you know, on social media where people hide from pictures, or simply you look on their page, there are no pictures of them. You know, these are people that are hiding for some reason. And you know, maybe that's your personality. You know, like I try not to post a lot of pictures publicly, but you know, if you're not posting pictures publicly because you're embarrassed, those are the people that I'm talking to. Or you may be hiding behind people when you take pictures, or you only post pictures of your head. You know, these are people that there's a level of insecurity that is inherent. And at some point, you're so sick and tired of having to hide. You're so sick and tired of being embarrassed. You're so sick and tired of being restricted by this fullness, this restrict, you know, like it gets in your way from bending forward and twisting. You're out of breath going up and down stairs. It's challenging. It makes your life difficult. And at some point, you just decide, you know what, enough is enough, and it's time to change. And when you make that decision, you start to change everything in your life, because the truth is that it's not just getting liposuction that allows these individuals to change everything in their life. It's not just liposuction. Liposuction seems to be like the catalyst. So once you get this procedure, you can get these kind of results fairly quickly. However, if you don't maintain and you don't do the things that are necessary, then you're not going to maintain these results over the long term. And in fact, you know, you can continue to slide downhill. So those individuals that think that liposuction is like this savior, like you can do this procedure and, you know, still live a negative lifestyle, still eat, you know, bad foods, you know, still not exercise and still not do the things that are necessary for you. If you believe that this is a shortcut, then you're not in the right place. This is not the right place for you. You know, the shortcuts, this is not a shortcut. It's a step in a process that can get you these results that are phenomenal. But you gotta follow through with the process. What's up, Cassandra? Audacious Shani. Is this a BBL? Some of these people up behind me will get BBLs. Now, BBL is simply fat transfer. It's a transfer of fat from one area to another. Typically, when we do a BBL, we're going to take the fat from the waistline, so you can see how the waist got smaller there. And as the waist gets smaller, we add volume to the butt, which makes it pop. It's like a big contrast. We're using a bigger butt and smaller waist, and that's the big difference. What's up, Stacy? Stacy's one of our previous patients. You'll probably see some pictures of her today. She's in the house, so if you guys want to ask her any questions, this is an individual specifically that has had multiple procedures. She knows a lot of stuff. And if you are serious about getting this procedure, I definitely recommend heading over to the My Shape Lipo support group and joining our support group on Facebook. So if you go over to Facebook and search groups, My Shape Lipo support group, there's all the pictures that you're seeing behind us. These are real people that are sharing their real stories publicly. So that's why these pictures are, you know, not the highest quality. You know, they're at the people's house. You know, we're not taken in our offices. They're their people. Their pictures that they're posting. What's up, Elsie? I was just thinking about you the other day. Hope everything's going well with you. Cassandra says, if you ever need a walking billboard, I'm your girl. Pro bono, of course. Sorry, single mom. Well, Cassandra, if I had $1 for every time someone was asking me to do that, I probably wouldn't need to work anymore. Everybody wants it for free, but nobody wants to do the work to get it. And you got to realize that, you know, it wasn't easy to get to the point where I have the ability to be able to do this for people, because this is a skill that's taken me 15 years to develop, and you know, it was a lot of hard work. So I think it's reasonable for me to be compensated. But I hear you, you know, and in situations where, you know, people, it's either there's a transfer of value. So the value is transferred. If I do a procedure for you, obviously there's value in that. Then and typically there would be a transfer of value. So you'd pay a certain amount that would be the equivalent value. But what if you're an influencer and you can offer me advertising opportunity to expose me to different people and get me more business? Well, that's valuable. So if you have value to offer, then it's possible that we work with something. But if you're just saying you want something for free, something for nothing, this stuff doesn't happen in this world. Even when we do our contests, the contest, I'm getting value out of it. We get promotional value out of it. So when I offer a procedure for free, it's really not for free because I'm getting paid and compensated through advertising opportunities. So if you, and look, that's the truth with any business on the planet. So if you bring value to us, then we're willing to work. Like I used to work with this orthopedic surgeon in a rural area up in Utah, and the guy was telling me stories about how his patients would bring him like animals, like goats and pigs, and give him animals as compensation for his work because they didn't have any money, but this is how they traded, I guess. So that's possible. I'm open to stuff, but you gotta bring me something that's of value to me and the business, and it helps make it better for everyone involved. But I like helping people. I like making a difference. At this point, what I'm really looking to do is I'm looking to find the individuals that are ready to change their life and do huge, massive life transformations and live their best life. And those people that are ready, they're right at that point and they're ready to change. Liposuction is one of those things that it kind of pushes them along their path and helps them to achieve their goal quicker. And so what that means is, like, let's say that you're ready to change your life, and liposuction is just one aspect of it. So getting your shape, getting you smaller, that's just one aspect of it. But there's other lifestyle changes that need to be made. And those are the things that are challenging to maintain and keep up with. So you need something to help keep you motivated. And when you see these kind of results, that's motivating. That's exciting because you're like, I can see the results. I'm just about there. You just got to keep working. And then the other thing is that you're just about there. You don't want to scale back. And so it keeps you motivated to keep working forward, keep moving towards your next goal. That's right. Stacy said you got to do your part. Stacy says she's more than willing to talk to anybody. Elsie says she's loving my results. No infection. It cleared up. Awesome. Miss Mither, Angela, appreciate you sharing with your friends. Any of you people on Facebook, if you can hit the share button, it helps give us a little bit more exposure. I really appreciate that. And obviously, if you have any friends specifically that you want to share this with, this is good information. Look, who do you know that has a square shape? Most women nowadays, with the way that obesity is in our country, most people have issues with their weight. Most people have issues with this shape. This young lady is not even big, but the shape is off, right? So how many of you have this where you're not that big, but the shape is off? You don't have the shape. And that's where, with liposuction, we can do 360 lipo. So 360 refers to liposuction all the way around the waistline. It takes away, it makes your belly flat in the front. And on the sides, it creates that hourglass figure. And then along the back side, we create that natural arch that you have. And that creates the hourglass figure and shapes the butt. So a lot of times when you fill in and you're squared off in the waist here, it makes it look like your butt's smaller. It makes it look like you have no shape, no curves. So these are problems that are not that big of a deal when you consider what is possible with liposuction. These are solutions that we can solve these problems fairly easily with a high level of consistency, and you can get the results that you're looking for. But as I said earlier, it's important that even if we get the fat out of there, even if we're able to get you smaller and achieve the shape that you're looking for, it's very important that you change your lifestyle and do the things that are necessary to maintain that body. Because if you keep acting as if you are this heavier individual, and what I mean by that, if you keep acting as if you keep eating the same foods, if you keep not doing enough activity during the day, if you're sitting on the couch all day or you're sitting at work all day at a computer, if you're not doing the things that are necessary and acting as if you're this new thinner person, then you act as if you're a heavier person. If you act as if you're a heavier person, it's inevitable. Eventually you become the heavier person. On the flip side, if you act as if you're a thinner person, start doing all the things that a thin person does, meaning eat better foods, exercise more, drink more water, get more activity, all these things that, there's basic habits that you can implement into your life. But if you start doing the things that are necessary to be a thinner person, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And if you're not achieving it by doing those level of activities, like say if you're like, well, I cut out half of the amount of sugar, I reduced my calories a little bit, and I started walking around the block. And if you're not getting results at that point, what do? You step the game up another level. You need to reduce more sugars, eat healthier foods, and increase your activity. Start working out more. You got to do more. If you're not getting the results on the level that you're doing, you need to step up to the next level and do more. And that's how this game works. And it's every aspect of your life. And I promise you, what happens in life is you're going to get to one level and you're going to get stuck there. It's going to be challenging to push to the next level, and you need something to push you through, something to jump you up to the next level. And then the big part where a lot of people struggle is they tend to slide back into the previous position. And this happens a lot through habits. So we have all been programmed with specific habits in our life. We do things a certain way. And so every day we get up, we brush our teeth, we have a habit, right? We do that, we have our patterns, the things that we do. And those patterns are what leads to the problems that we have with our body. We cause it. We cause everything. And it's all done by the patterns and habits that we have. So it's important to evaluate your own habits, identify where the negative ones are or where you can improve, and slowly start improving. It's just a slow steps. You slowly start making improvement. You don't have to change everything all at once, but you realize, hey, I'm not drinking enough water. Okay, that's one thing you can start improving. You improve that habit. Okay, I'm not getting enough activity. Okay, how can I improve that? What do I want to do? Do I want to walk more? Do I want to start playing tennis? Do I want to start playing volleyball? Do I want to go jogging? Do I want to go to the gym? Do I want to do yoga? These are all options, right? And there's lots of different options for you to do. You just need to choose one and start doing. See, changes come from doing, not from intentions. You can have the best intentions in the world, but nothing's going to change unless you actually do anything. So you can have the intentions, you can have the idea, you can have the knowledge, you can have everything, but if you don't actually take action on this information, then nothing in this reality will change. I appreciate you for sharing this, Miss My 3, Angela. Or is that Miss Myth? I don't know. Appreciate you sharing. And you say you're going to be there in April for your 360. That's awesome. Okay, Elsie says the group is very helpful and everyone is there to support each other, and I love these ladies in the group. We hear that a lot. The group is awesome. The women there are amazing, and we've really created this situation where it's just so supportive. And after you have this procedure, you need to have people to support you in doing the same thing. Because if you're trying to change your lifestyle, you're trying to do the right things, when you surround yourself by people that live an unhealthy lifestyle, it's really, really difficult to change your lifestyle. Really difficult. You got to start surrounding yourself by people that are doing the same things as you're doing. And this even falls into like your spouse. And I hear this all the time where you decide that you want to change your lifestyle habits, change the way that you eat, and you go to make those changes, and then your spouse or your kids are like, yeah, we don't want to do this, and then you have to start cooking for them and cooking for you, and then at that point it's really easy to eat what they have. That's not good for you. So you really have to find people and recruit the people around you to also be healthy. And how do you do that? A lot of it is when you start researching this stuff and you start figuring out the reasons why you're going to change your lifestyle. So the reasons why you should drink more water. If you can explain that and articulate that to your friends and family, why it's important that you should be drinking water, they might get motivated to start drinking more water because they too want to be healthy. They too want to live longer. They too want to feel better about themselves. All right, we have a question here on YouTube. Okay. What's up, Rachel? You got your 360, feeling blessed, awesome. Christine, I'm an insulin dependent person, 56 years old. I have childhood diabetes. Insulin makes me fat all around my stomach, and yet the rest of my body is not fat at all. So, Christine, they call that truncal obesity. So your trunk is obese, and it is fairly common. Diabetics. And liposuction can help reproportion your body. So when we talk about proportions of your body, you may carry your fat in one particular area. So the liposuction can remove the fat in that area, which reproportions the body. So now if you come into a different proportion, if your waist is smaller, it'll start matching the proportion of the rest of your body. So that's definitely possible. I'd highly recommend that liposuction for you for that situation. Also, as a diabetic, the liposuction can help reduce the need for insulin. So the fat itself helps to cause some of the insulin resistance. Since you're a type 1 diabetic, I'm not sure exactly what that means for you, but I know that we've had a lot of patients who have had diabetes and they're able to reduce the need for insulin. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, all my injections have used an insulin pump for many years. My meds section simply goes exponentially. Okay, am I a candidate for lipo and skin removal? I weigh 265 and I have been fasting for 2 straight weeks, water all day, and 1 small meal at dinner, and have lost not even an eyelash. Look, everybody's different, and our bodies are different, right? Our metabolism is different. What I have found that those people that are stuck, what I believe, and you got to realize that there's going to be different philosophies for all these things, and everybody's body is a little bit different. So you have to take these recommendations with a grain of salt. But what I believe is that when you have lived a certain lifestyle, we intake toxins through many aspects of our life, whether it's the food, the water, the lotions and stuff that we put on our skin, whether it's chemical exposures at work or environmental exposures in the air and things of that nature. We are intaking toxins all the time, and there's many of these toxins we can't stop. It's an environmental toxin. It is what it is. And we know this. So this is not a surprise. This is not a maybe. This is not a what if. This is it is. This is happening to all of us right now. So we're getting toxins from various places. Now, what happens is, as the toxins go through our system, our body is designed to filter out the toxins and excrete them. And it does that through the kidneys and the liver and the bowels. And so when we take in toxins, it comes to a point when there's too many toxins, and the toxins, they clog up our organs, and then coupled with water. So when you're dehydrated, it's imagine it's like you have the toxins are like a sludge, perhaps, right? And the more water that you have, it allows everything to flow. But if you're chronically dehydrated, it becomes more like a sludge, like mud, and it clogs up the organs, so the toxins get stuck in there, so your kidneys aren't filtering properly, your liver's not filtering properly, your intestines aren't working the right way. So when nothing works right, you can't expect anything to work right. It's plain and simple. You can't expect to lose weight properly. You can't expect your body to do what it's supposed to do because your body's not working properly. So how do you solve this problem? So you're going to do this through a couple of different protocols, and you can go do your own research on this, but you can do various things for cleansing. So there's like juice cleanses that cleanse out the organs, and then there's detoxing, which is there's other protocols for this as well, some of which involve fasting. What you were talking about was the intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is good. It works for some people, but apparently it's not working for you. So you got to figure out what else to do. And I would start with the cleansing of the body first and the detoxing. And if you cleanse out your organs, you might start to find that your body actually starts to work. The other thing is really important that you drink enough water, because as I said, if your organs are they getting clogged up because there's not a proper flow through them, the toxins can build up in your system and your body becomes toxic. So cleanse out your organs. Do the detoxes. Okay, Stacy, man, you put your cell phone number in. That's big of you. You might get pummeled with phone calls. I hope that's not the case. But Stacy's there. She's willing to help anybody. She's one of those people that she's been paying it forward for a long time. She had this procedure years ago, and she's a lifer. She works her ass off, literally and physically, right? So she's working hard to lose the weight and get it right, and it's an ongoing process. She hasn't reached perfection. Nobody has. None of us ever will. But it's about striving for the best that we can do. We call this our best life. And what is our best life? Well, every day we're going to redefine that. Every day we're going to do something a little bit different. Every day we're going to see how we can improve and get better. Erica Flores. She says she's coming in for April. Super exciting, getting ready for the summer, I'm sure. Okay, Queen Shiva says I took losing weight first. Okay, look, losing weight and liposuction, they're not the same thing. It's not one or the other. Because you'll find that when you lose weight, you're just a smaller version of what you were before. The shapes that you want, the hourglass figure that you want, you're not going to get it from dieting in most cases. I mean, some people will, but most cases you're not going to get it. So if you have a square shape before before losing weight, you're going to have a square shape after losing weight. You're just going to be a smaller version of that individual. So the liposuction, how it's different is we physically remove the fat cells and we can carve out the shape that you want, and then you just don't have the fat cells there, so you're not going to gain the weight in that area anymore. So it changes everything. And if you're one of those people that go up and down, I mean, I was one of them. Yo-yo diets. You lose weight, you feel good, and then you go gain a bunch of weight because you feel good, and you're eating bad again. Then you lose weight because you felt bad about yourself, so you stopped eating. and then once you get down to the ideal weight or whatever you feel better about, you start eating again. And you go up and down, up and down, up and down. I did this for a decade, and I'm sure most of you have done the same thing. Where you tried, losing, I lose 10 pounds, and then you go out to lunch and, you get a donut and a dessert or whatever the case, and all of a sudden that 10 pounds is right back. And it almost seems like a day, right? One mistake and it's right back. So you got to do the things that are necessary for your long-term weight loss. And it's about instituting new habits and patterns into your life that will set you up for success. You should program success into your life. You program the success into your life through the habits. You program the success in your life through the habits. And it's simple habits. They're easy to do, but they're just as easy not to do. It's easy to drink enough water every day, but it's just as easy to not do it. That's the problem. It's easy to get 8 hours of sleep if you go to bed on time, but it's just as easy to not go to bed on time and not get that sleep. So that's where you suffer. So you have to take yourself more seriously. So do you seriously want to make changes in who's more important? Are the other people that you're trying to help more important, or are you more important? You need to reprioritize your life. And I see, unfortunately I see this with women a lot because, even my wife, it's like she gives everything to help the kids. And when you give everything to help the kids, you neglect yourself. And that's where the problem falls. Okay, Christine, do you do lipo? Do I personally do lipo on persons that are morbidly obese? I weigh 265 pounds. If so, where are you located and what state? I mean, I think this person probably fits into the category that you're talking about. If not, can you show a couple more? But yeah, we do lots of patients that are 265, um, and you'll see there's different body types. You know, people hold and carry the weight differently, so you'll fall in and look similar to some of these people. Can we get what's that one with the the bikini, the hanging belly? I think she was probably around the range. Yeah, so she's higher BMI level, and you can see the results that we get there. So I know that a lot of the larger individuals are so worried about we're going to get enough out to make a difference, and there's no way, there's no way that we can take out as much fat as we do and not get a difference. It's impossible. It's physics. And imagine like you're a water balloon. You can't deflate the water balloon by 60-70% and expect the water balloon to be the same size. It never happens. Never ever. Okay, so when you go other places and you don't get the results, the only reason is they simply didn't take out enough fat. Because it never happens that you don't get the results if they take the fat out. Now, so then there comes the question is, do you take the fat out? And of course, right? Look you can see the results. Of course we take the fat out. Of course, because there would be no other way to get these type of results. So when you're thinking about what you can do, how you can make a change in your life, you'll go see and get opinions from people. Okay, one person's opinion might say, "Hey, you're so big, you need to lose weight. You need to be your ideal weight, and then when you come to me, you're going to need to get a tummy tuck, and we're going to cut, and we're going to do all these crazy things." And you might be like, "You know what? I don't like that idea. I don't want to have to lose weight right away to get it. I want to get something now, or I don't want to have to get a tummy tuck." Well, this is another option. So I'm offering you another option. We suck fat for a living, so you don't have to lose the fat. I'm not telling you to go out and lose the fat. You don't have to be clearly she's not her ideal weight. Not yet. But this is part of the process for her. So we got her down to where she is, and then she's got to keep working. And it's exciting when you get to look at how exciting she is. It's exciting when you get to this point and you can actually see the changes in your body. That's freaking exciting. You can work harder when you see those type of results. You're willing to make a little bit more sacrifice then, because you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, wow, those are great. I need to set up my consultation ASAP. So if you're ready to set up your consultation, there's a link on our website, myshapelipo.com. You can also go on the up in the profile here on Instagram. Click on the link. You can fill out the information. You're going to submit photos, so you want to take pictures, and then we have two options. We have a free consultation, but we're booked out for a few months. So if you're serious about doing this, I suggest you pay for the consultation. It's $100, but you get the consultation quickly, within a few days, and we can evaluate your situation, make a plan, and get you started on the path very quickly. Awesome results here, and this is another larger individual. So you can see, we're not one of those places that are telling you have to be your ideal weight. We're not restricting people based on BMI. We're helping those who have been turned away elsewhere for being heavier. Those who have been told that you have to get a tummy tuck, but you don't want a tummy tuck. We're helping these individuals, and we're making a huge dramatic change in their life, and it's super exciting. And if you know any people that are like this, that might want to change, you got to share this stuff. I mean, this is what we talk about, paying it forward. Once you have this knowledge, once you have this information, it's your responsibility to share it with the people that can really use it. Because what happens if I tell you that, hey, you can get this liposuction and have your belly go away without a tummy tuck, and meanwhile you got your sister, you got your cousin, you got your best friend, they're big like this, and they're researching, and they're being told elsewhere they have to get a tummy tuck, and they're thinking of going to to Mexico. They're thinking of going to Colombia, to put their life at risk. When all you have to do is just share the information. They don't have to make the decision to come here. Just share the information. Allow them to research for themselves. Allow them to see for themselves. And they can go to our group and connect with individuals. The awesome thing in our group, the private Facebook group on My Shape Lipo, on Facebook, you have a private group called My Shape Lipo Support Group. Once you get in there, it's like having best friends or family that have had the procedure, because you can, like Stacy, like literally she left her cell phone number in the public right here. Like, that's how committed our patients are to helping others. And Stacy's not getting paid. She doesn't work for us. She wants to help because she knows how big of a change this can make for your life. And you know what? It's super exciting for us to help other people. And once you've been helped, once this has happened to you, you're like, holy crap, I can help other people get the same thing. I know how to do it now. I know how to get there. And it's not just the liposuction, right? It's the continuing. It's the lifestyle changes. So as you change these lifestyle things and you start realizing that your life is better, that's when you start to become an inspiration and a motivation to your friends and all those around you. Because I promise, there's people at her work who are like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Like, you look amazing. What's going on? Right? And they want to know. You got to share this stuff. You got to share, because it's not fair. This is not meant to be kept quiet. I'm out here, I'm like with my bullhorn. You guys, this is possible. So share this with your friends, share this with your family, tell them. I mean, everybody knows someone. I mean, nowadays they're saying like upwards of 95% of people are considered obese, right? Or higher BMI, which means that, that amount of people are going to be insecure, are going to be the people that want to do something about changing their weight, that want to improve, that want to fit in their clothes better, that look like. And most of these people, they don't say anything. Do insecure people say anything? You ever tell people, hey, I'm insecure, I don't like my belly? No, nobody ever says that. But you know it, right? Because you are insecure. I know I was insecure. And so because I was insecure, I could see the same signs in other people. I could see what you're doing. And I know that if you become conscious and aware of the things that you're doing, it would be really easy for you to see the same signs in other people, because they're all doing the same thing. We all act the same way. We all have the same issues. It's all one. So when you start realizing that it's your responsibility, once you learn how to change, once you learn how to make a difference in your life, it's your responsibility to help and share to those people around us. That's how we change the world. It's just one person at a time. Think of it like the ripple effect. When you throw a rock into the middle of a pond, it hits in that and it causes an initial splash, but then it ripples out. And the ripples out is the next layer. So I help the patient, right? Now that patient has a circle of friends. They're ripple, right? They have this immediate circle of friends that it ripples out to. And those circle of friends and family, they see and they hear you and they get inspired and motivated by you. And maybe you have a circle of friends, you have 10 close friends and family. Maybe out of those 10 close friends and family, you'll get one, maybe two people that are interested in this and actually follow through with getting a procedure. And then it starts another splash over here. It's another splash that can potentially ripple and help other people. This is the stuff, this is how you can change the world, not by changing other people. You change the world by changing yourself. And once you change yourself, it affects the world around you. And I started with myself. I changed myself. I improved myself. All these habits that I talk to you about, I've already implemented and I've done for years. I've changed myself. Therefore, I can share that knowledge and wisdom with you. And you can understand based off of my experience, because I had ups and downs. It's not easy, right? But I can explain it to you in a way that you can understand to where it might make sense. And if it might make sense to you, maybe you get inspired to change. And if you change, then your actions will lead to specific outcomes. And those outcomes might be beneficial for you to the point where your friends and family start noticing a difference. And when they start noticing a difference, they might start asking questions. And when they start asking questions, that's when you need to share. This is how our world works. This is how we improve as a species. We help each other expand and grow. So I'm helping these individuals through liposuction, but it's more than just that. That's why I'm here talking. Is you have to change your lifestyle habits. You have to change the things that you do in order to make this a sustainable long-term plan for you. This is not a one-hit wonder. You get the procedure and you're done. It doesn't work like that. And the people that believe that, they tend to not have long-term results. And occasionally you'll see people pop on here and be like, I got a procedure 3 or 4 years ago, and can I come get the same area treated? And those are the people that they didn't take care of themselves. They didn't take care of themselves. They gained weight. They kept living like that bigger person. And if you keep living like that bigger person, eventually you just become that bigger person again. And it's the same problems, the same insecurities, the same feelings, the same thoughts. Everything's the same. So the only way to change is to do something different. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So you can't continue to do the same thing, but yet expect to get a different result. But what if you change a little bit and don't get the results? Those people will typically get frustrated and quit. Oh, I tried a diet and it didn't work, so I quit. And then you kept gaining weight. Well, what if you didn't try the right thing? Or what if you didn't, do it at a high enough level? Like, for example, you were going to get more active, and you just basically every day you walk around the block once. And maybe that'll make a difference for you, but most likely it's not. You have to do more than that. And it's like, and I always say this, there's a price for everything. You have to pay the price. If you want to get the results, you have to pay the price. And the price is going to be different for everybody, every situation. And I'm not talking a price of monetary price. I'm talking a physical, sacrifice price. So you have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice effort, and sometimes in some cases you have to sacrifice money. But you have to do something. You have to sacrifice something in order to get what you want. You're gonna have, and especially the bigger things that you want, the higher goals that you want, you're gonna have to sacrifice more. Okay, so any of you that are ready for the procedure, the next step is getting your consultation. And on Facebook, it's up on the poster. You can click on the link. On Instagram, it should be up in our profile, and YouTube on the profile as well. You can also go to our website, myshapelipo.com. Elsie says, no tummy tuck, and it was the best decision I made. Elsie got phenomenal results. Phenomenal results. And she had that hanging belly. I don't remember exactly Elsie's. I'm trying to imagine her picture, but Graham's probably going to go do some research while we're talking. But when the belly goes away, it's one of those things that I think that a lot of the patients, when they come to me, and their mindset is and thought process is that because they're a certain size that they're not going to get the results that they anticipate. And I can't tell you how many times I've had patients that immediately after the procedure, they stand up and it's like they start crying because they just can't believe it. It's, in many cases, it's unbelievable. And I can't even believe it sometimes, because it's crazy how fast it happens when we take the volume off your belly, and all of a sudden you had this bigger habitus and this shape, and then the fat's gone, and all of a sudden your body just once you take the fat away, the foundation is underneath. And so if you have a good foundation, the shape is already there. The hourglass, it's already there. I guess in a way we're creating by carving it out in the right way, but I'm just taking the fat away in an even fashion to uncover what's already there. And I've been able to do it thousands of times. Not just once, not just twice. It hasn't just, it wasn't like a fluke. This stuff happens on a daily basis all the time. And you'll see people that keep popping on from there just a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, and it just keeps going. And we've had this ability to help a lot of people change their life. And people like Elsie, people like Stacy, they keep coming back to the page because, one, they know how big of a change it's made for them, and they understand that they can help other people. That's exciting. But two, once you fix one part of your body, there might be other parts of your body that you want to change too. So it's kind of a process, especially if you're the larger individuals. This previous lady was asking, she's 265. People that are 265, you're full all throughout the body. So if we can give you an hourglass figure, you might be like, oh, that's awesome. Now I need my arms done. Now I need my legs done. Now I would like my chin done. Those are options, and that's why people keep coming back. And what I want to point out for those of you who are perhaps new to this channel is that the people that are coming back, they're not coming back because they want liposuction on the same areas. They're coming back because they want liposuction on new areas. They want to treat their entire body because why? Because it's freaking amazing. The procedure's amazing. It's incredible of what's possible. And if you haven't seen our results, the results are not the same from our practice to other practices. And so please do your research, because when you go look at other websites and other practitioners that are doing liposuction, you'll realize it's blatantly obvious that they're just not getting the same results. Blatantly obvious. So you can say, well, I live in North Carolina, and I can't travel all the way to Las Vegas. Then cool, you're gonna sacrifice and get the results that they get. And if that's what you want, then you make those decisions. But if you want the results that we get, you have to come here. That's why 80% of our patients fly in from out of state, because they know the results that they can get. They know the potential. They know the possibilities. They've seen it time and time again. They've seen the proof. Proof is in the pudding, right? Elsie says pictures are in the group.
I'm trying to edit Elsie's pictures right now.
Okay.
Because she really gave good pictures.
Okay. Juliet says she's coming in February. I'm nervous but excited and hopeful. That's awesome. I remember seeing your pictures, Juliet. So I look forward to meeting you. Alicia, do you guys take insurance? Alicia, unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover it. I don't know what insurance covers. I don't think insurance covers jack shit anymore. I went to the dentist and it didn't cover anything. I went to the doctor, it didn't cover anything. I don't think insurance covers anything anymore. I think it's a big scam, but that's just my opinion. But liposuction is definitely not covered. This is Elsie?
Yes, this is Elsie.
Nice.
And they're more explicit in the group, so I had to do some editing.
Okay.
But she really gives good pictures.
Good. So with Elsie, you can see that she had the front of her belly treated, and it may be difficult to see from this picture, but she had a lot of stretch marks. Assuming it was either from multiple kids or rapid weight gain and weight loss. But the point is that she had a lot of loose skin and it was damaged from the stretch marks. And you can see that after removing that fat, that fold over, which may be hard to see because of the colors of her underwear there, but she had a fold, a distinct fold. And in the after photo, you can see the fold is gone. There's not even a remnants of the fold. Not even a little bit. And I believe with Elsie that we went into the pubic area as well to clear out that, to make the whole front of the abdomen smooth all the way down to your fupa, whatever you guys want to call it, private part, downtown. But that's what's possible. And those of you who are worried about the skin being loose, like this is a prime example. She's got really loose skin already. And I'm telling you, it's a law of physics. This shit happens every single time. So just because she had looser skin, just because it's hanging beforehand, makes no difference. No difference. If we're able to do our job right, we should get the results that we expect. Now, obviously in life, there's no guarantee, but I, I'm seeing it so often. I feel more and more confident to say that it is what it is. We're going to get these results, and you know, Alicia, 270, 5'1". I have an overbelly, so want this done. Well, you got to get a consultation. I'm sure we can help you. Yeah, Elsie says 2 kids and a weight gain. You know, the crazy thing is that I see women that have, 2 or 3 kids and no stretch marks, and people that have, 1 kid are just tore up, stretch marks all over the place, craziness. And then there's other women that have 6, 7 kids and barely any stretch marks. So a lot of that has to do with genetics, I think, or the specific situation, and it's like how quickly you get big and expand. So Jessica Avila says, do you do mommy makeovers? So mommy makeovers is just a word. You guys have to realize that it's just a word. Somebody just made up the term. It doesn't mean anything. It means whatever you put to it. So mommy makeover is helping you with whatever mommies need. And of course, we can put together some package whatever mommy needs. You may need liposuction. You may need fat transfer. You may need laser skin tightening. And it's whatever you need, whatever you want. We add volume through fat transfer to, like, say for example, if your breasts had lacking volume, we could add more volume there. If we want to add more volume to the butt for an enhancement, or obviously we do liposuction to create the shapes. And if you have loose skin, we can do laser skin tightening to enhance that. So Jessica, it just depends on what your issue is, and if you're ready, if you're serious, you may just be, kicking the tires right now, looking around at what's possible. So if you're serious, the next step is getting a consultation, which you can click on the link up above. But if you're just kind of kicking the tires, looking to see what's possible for you, go check out our group, the private group, My Shape Lipo Support Group on Facebook. Check there, connect with some other individuals. You'll likely find somebody that has your same height and weight and dimensions and issues. You'll likely find somebody there. And that's kind of the whole point of it. We want you to connect with someone who has done this before, and we give you a better idea of what to expect when you find individuals with similar issues. Okay, Carla Chavez says, do you inject numbing fluids all at once, or do you inject as you work per section? So I inject all at once. The numbing process is the part that we're injecting the fluid into the fat layer. And that's, since you're not numb yet, you will continue to feel this until we get the numbing medication in there. So the reason why I don't, break it down into sections, because the truth is it's one body. We may break it down into sections for pricing, but you have one body, everything's connected. So, we numb up the entire, like if we're going to do the abdomen 360, we numb up the entire abdomen 360. If we're going to do fat transfer, we do numb that all up at the same time. Everything gets numbed up at the same time, then it's all numb. Now, if once we start doing the liposuction, the fat transfer process, you continue to feel things and you have discomforts, we can easily just add in more numbing fluid to the specific area needed. Because, when we're injecting this fluid, it is injected blindly, meaning it's underneath the skin and I can't see anything, so it's blindly. So when we're injecting it in there, it's possible that the numbing medication didn't get to all the areas that we are treating, so therefore it is possible that you may still have areas of sensation after we've done a numbing process. So if that's the case, when we're doing the liposuction and you feel something, just, hey, I feel something, and we'll inject some more numbing medication back in there, and in most cases that helps. Okay, Alicia, how much is it for the 360? So again, the 360 is referring to all the way around the waistline, and each individual is different. Clearly, you can see we do patients that are 350 pounds and patients that are 100 pounds. So I don't know what you are, so I can't quote you on a 360 because I don't know you. So that's why you got to get a consultation. Click on the link up above, send us some pictures so we can take a look and figure it out exactly what is going to work out for you. Jessica, you say, I need that. We'll do another consult. Got one done a few years ago, but I'm getting there. I will get in there definitely. So Jessica, it's really, again, when I said before that this is just about making a decision. When you make a decision that it's time to change, then you start doing the things that are necessary. In the past, you may have gotten your previous consultation, but you hadn't made that decision that it's time to change yet. And because you didn't make that decision, your mind didn't keep pushing you down the road. What's next? What's next? If you made a decision, I'm going to change my life, then what's next? And if you're serious about changing your life, then you'll follow through on the what's next. So in this situation, obviously, you get the consultation. Once you get the consultation, you're going to place a deposit, get the procedure done, but then it's also, diet, exercise, the whole lifestyle change platform, right? We need to change all of our lifestyles slowly, right? Slowly change our lifestyle, but it's habits. We need to recreate new habits in our life. But I'm glad you're back, Jessica. I appreciate you sticking around for so many years and coming back here. Okay, Elsie says, do the consultation, get the procedure, it's worth it. Okay, is there a minimum or maximum amount you take out? So Alicia, the way we do this is we're going to, there are limitations on how much we can take out, but there's also a limitation on how much of the numbing medication that we can put in. So lidocaine, which is the numbing medication, it can become toxic if we use too much of it. But obviously we need to use the numbing medication in order to get the fat out. And then there's also a matter of if we take out too much fat, your body may not tolerate things well. The more we take out, the more potential problems there is for you. So it's our job as professionals to evaluate your situation and try to figure out what is a reasonable area to cover where we can maximize the amount of fat out. So get out the maximum amount of fat to get you the results that we get, without entering into this taking out too much fat range, or without getting into this range of using too much numbing medication. So that's kind of the professional opinion, you might say, as to how we make this safe for individuals. But clearly you can see the only way for people to get these results is when we remove a significant amount of fat. So, clearly when someone's asking, what's the maximum you can take out, you're worried about not getting the results because we don't take out enough fat. We take out enough fat every time. Okay, as long as you allow us to do our job, we will do our job. Okay, and I'm not trying to chintz on people. We're not getting to a certain volume and be like, okay, we're done. It doesn't work that way. We get results. That's the goal. I'm trying to make that whole belly, that whole fold just disappear. And that's where the magic is. That's where it's amazing. I love it. I love doing this. I love changing people's lives. I love making a difference because I know that it changes every other aspect of their lives. And those people that are actually able to implement those other changes in their life, it's amazing. It's incredible. It's life-changing. I mean, there's no good words for it. What's the name of the group again, please? My Shape Lipo Support Group. Let's see, Granville posted a link to the group. Let's see if I can pin that. Okay. Okay, Jessica says, I'm getting there. It's a lot of money and I have to change things to get there. I hear you. I hear stories of people that it's taken them years. Some people have been following for 7, 8 years, saving up the money, just trying to figure out how it's going to work for them. So I get it, and it is what it is. That's why, there's no rush here. That's why I say, when it's your time, when you're ready, you just make that decision. And once you make that decision, it's like you got to go all in and start doing whatever is necessary. And if that means you need to start making more money, then maybe you need to get another job. You need to, start a side hustle. There's lots of different options, monetarily. So, like, I think it's just an excuse when people put things off. I know that there's ways. I know there's lots of side hustles and there's different things to do. So it's a matter of your level of commitment to yourself. And are you ready to change? So did you make that decision like I'm ready to change no matter what? And once you make that decision, no matter what, your mind will start producing, how do I make it happen? Because you see, when you make that decision, you don't have to know how. You don't have to know how. You just have to make the decision. Say, I'm changing my life. That's it. It's the line gets drawn in the sand right here. I'm changing. And once you make that decision, then you can start thinking, well, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? What do I need? Okay, I need more money. I need to get some time off of work. I need to, I need to start changing my habits. So you can start doing the things. There's lots of things that you can start doing now that don't cost any money. Changing your habits. That doesn't cost any money in most cases. And those are things that need to be done. Okay, Queen Shiva. Queen Shiva. That's like a yoga term. Okay. She says, is it better to lose weight than get lipo? So, Queen Shiva, you'll find that I am not the type of person to tell you that you have to lose weight to get liposuction. And with that said, I also am the one that says you that liposuction is not the end solution. You have to continue to lose weight and change your diet and exercise to get the long-term lasting results. Okay? So you don't have to lose the weight to get the procedure. However, you should, in order to get the best possible results, lose weight and continue to do all the things that are necessary for you to live your best life. And that might be weight loss. That might be exercise, working out. It might be drinking more water. That might be, going to sleep earlier. These are things that each individual will have to make the determination of what they need to do. But I certainly don't need you to lose weight. I mean, we clearly have much larger patients, and we still get the results. So I don't need you to lose the weight to get the results that we get. It might, maybe it's easier, I don't know, but I haven't noticed that. In fact, some of the larger patients, the fat seems to come out easier. And those who have lost dramatic amounts of weight, the fat doesn't come out as easy. And I have some theories on why that is, but ultimately, I think that it's not necessary to lose the weight beforehand, and I think we can still get the results. However, I do recommend changing your lifestyle and losing weight afterwards. Kelly's World. For mommy makeover, do you do a tummy tuck or lipo? We only do liposuction, no tummy tucks at My Shape Lipo. My Shape Lipo, not My Shape Tummy Tuck. No tummy tucks are required with any of the procedures that we do. None of the results that you see included tummy tuck, not a single one of them. And you can see we get huge dramatic change. We have the people that their belly hangs over and they don't get a tummy tuck and they still get awesome results. And that fold goes away. So those of you that believe a tummy tuck is necessary, it's just because you've been told that. You've been told that by someone who doesn't know the options. In most cases, unfortunately, this is like plastic surgeons, and they're old school. They do it the old way. They put you to sleep still. It's significantly more dangerous. Significantly more dangerous when you get put to sleep with general anesthesia. And plus, how many times have I been told by a patient, yeah, they told me they took out fat, but I never got to see it. I have no idea what they did, and then I get no results. So they put you to sleep. They do something, whatever they do. And then afterwards, you're left wondering, what did they do? Because you were asleep. You don't know. So with the way that we do it, you're awake and you can see right from the beginning. We start sucking the fat out. You can look at the fats going through the tube. And I'll tell you immediately, oh, fat's coming out. Shh, you can watch it. Watch it. And then you look behind you and these canisters, they're filling up with fat. And you can see it. And afterwards, you can see canisters. We got 2, 4, 6 liters of fat. Lots of it. You can see it. You can hold it. It's there. There's no BS. No guessing. It's serious change, serious results immediately. Now, obviously, the final results take a little bit longer because you got to heal and swelling, bruising needs to go away, but you're smaller immediately. Okay. So what's the best thing to do? Lose weight, then get lipo. Queen Shiva, get lipo and continue to lose weight. If you want to lose weight before you get lipo, lose weight before you get lipo. But it's not necessary. And losing weight is not a substitute for getting liposuction. You're not going to get the same results. So in many cases, you want that fold to go away, get the liposuction sooner than later. because we'll make the fold go away. Then you can continue to lose weight and things get better, and they'll get better and better as you lose more weight. Okay, so Queen Shiva says, I was 313, now I'm 254, changed my diet. Awesome, congratulations, that's amazing. So you got a bit more to go. And, liposuction is just, again, if you're ready, this is a big change. And it's not cheap, right? So if you're ready to change your life, a bigger, more dramatic change, then liposuction, maybe that's the next step for you. I mean, you have to choose, right? If you want to continue doing diet and exercise, that seems to be working out for you, then you can continue doing that. But if you're ready for a bigger change, you're ready to get rid of that belly for real, then, liposuction is an option. Okay, what if you're skinny and had kids? Fat is fat. You're big fat, little fat, all fat's the same fat. Okay, can you die from a BBL? Queen Shiva, you can die from crossing the street. I mean, I could die right now. I could have an aneurysm, or heart attack right when I'm having this conversation with you here. So it's possible for you to die at any time. And doing a BBL, it's certainly not common. I've never seen any patient die during a BBL or liposuction for that matter. We've never had any deaths. I've read articles about it. In most cases, the deaths come from in most cases, they're plastic surgeons that are doing it the old way through general anesthesia. It's the general anesthesia that it presents the biggest problems after liposuction or during liposuction. When they do general anesthesia, they put you to sleep and the medication stops you from breathing. But one of the bigger problems is plastic surgeons tend to try to do too much. So they put you to sleep, and because you're asleep, they try and do a tummy tuck, they do liposuction, they do arm lift, they do breast augmentation, they do all kinds of crap on you, it's traumatic to your body and causes problems. And so that's typically where the deaths come from, is when doctors trying to do too much. And that's, again, that's just reiterate why we try to create these procedures where they're of a reasonable size, where we can get a maximum amount of fat out, get the hugest, biggest, most dramatic change, but then keep you safe as possible. And that's what we do. And we walk the edge, but in walking the edge, we get the big dramatic change, and we keep you safe. That's the goal. Okay, can you still find a day if you're skinny with a tummy? I don't know what you're saying, Mimi. Oh, can you still find fat if you're skinny with a tummy? It really just depends. I don't know you. I don't know what you have or not have. But yes, skinny people get liposuction too. I mean, every plastic surgeon says you have to be your ideal weight, which means those are skinny people. And they still do liposuction on them. So if you have fat, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are. If you have fat that you want removed in an isolated area, we can take it out. Okay. Queen Shiva says, I reached out to you 3 years ago. I lost to finally be ready. Okay, I feel you should lose weight. Okay. Everybody has their own truth, Queen Shiva. If your truth is you believe that you need to lose weight first, or you need to go get this gastric sleeve, or whatever you think you need to do, that's your journey. But that's not the way other people did it. And, there's lots of ways to skin a cat, they say. So it's definitely possible to do this a lot of different ways. There's no, right answer. There may be ways that are more optimal and, better suited for you, but there's not a right way. There's a way that works for you, and that's what you should do. Okay, do you reduce breasts? So we do liposuction of the breasts. It's a great procedure when the breasts consist of a lot of fatty material. However, that's not always the case. Some breasts are very fibrous. If you've had a mammogram, usually they can tell you whether you have fibrous breasts or fatty breasts. If they're more fat, we can obviously make a bigger change. If they're more fibrous, then we can make less of a change. Stacy's back on Instagram. Okay, Melanin Beauty. Okay, that's me. Changed my diet over a year ago. Lost weight, healthy. Now saving to come see you. Awesome. Stacy's looking to encourage people. Okay, Kelly's World says, I'm ready. I'm a barber and working on my career and need this life change. That's, it's funny that, when you say you need a life change, in most cases, it's your confidence that you're talking about. You need to, you need to change so you can feel better about yourself. And, with the liposuction, all of a sudden, I mean, could you imagine going from this lady, she used to get asked that if she was pregnant all the time, and how embarrassing that is, and how, limiting, how she was hiding. You can imagine, right? You can imagine. I can imagine. And then to come out looking like this afterwards is like, she's like a runway model, like, man, amazing. Hourglass figure, booty pop, I mean, her boobs are sticking out now much further than her belly. It's way different. Like, that type of person, they have more confidence. And you asked about, said you were a barber and getting back into, and making some changes. And imagine when you feel better about yourself, you're more ready to go. You're more ready to change and do, and whatever you need to do to improve your life. It's easier. All right, I'm gonna be done here in just a minute, guys. I'm getting tired. See if any more quick questions. Miss Pooh says, I did fasting, but I be hungry. Most of all of our success is gonna come from the mental game. Fasting is one of those things that it allows you to test yourself, because if you can control your mind and control those urges of not eating, if you can control that, you can control anything. That's why fasting is so powerful. So powerful, because think about it. The only reason that you aren't able to do anything else is because you're not able to stick to. You're not able to stick to it. Okay, if you have a diet, the only reason you're not successful is because you don't stick to it. That's not the only reason, but in most cases, it's because you can't stick to it. So when you do fasting, you'll start to realize that it's those urges that you have that are causing you to go towards food. And if you do fasting long enough, you realize that you really don't have to eat. I fasted for over a week. You really don't have to eat. Certainly not as much as we do. And you feel amazing when you don't eat. All kinds of energy, the inflammation in your body just plummets, and you feel like a rock star. But you have to get over that hunger. You have to get over it. And it takes a day. It takes 2 days. 3 days. It depends on your level and your mindset. But you have to get over the mental challenges. And if that's the key, is if you can get over the mental challenges of fasting, you can do the same thing everywhere else. The same thing everywhere else. It's the same discipline. And I found this discipline when I was training for a marathon. I didn't think it was possible for me to run a marathon, but I trained and I kept going, and I pushed past it. And once I was able to push far beyond what I believed was possible, I pushed far beyond what I believed was possible. It just made me realize that, what if I was wrong everywhere else? What if I could do more than I thought I could do? What if I was capable of more than I thought I was capable of? When my mind tells me I have to stop because I'm too tired, or it hurts too much, when my mind tells me that stuff, what if I can go further? So what if your mind's telling you have to eat, you're gonna die, you gotta eat, these are the urges, right? What if it's not real? What if the mental thing that voice is telling you, that the urges, what if it's telling you that you have to do this? So what if that's not true? What if you can survive? What if you can get past that? That's what you need to learn. That's the key. That's the key. It's the mental strength. If you can get past the mental strength, oh my God, anything's possible for you. Anything's possible. Okay, Chang says, why is the review online bad? So I've done 15,000 procedures. over the course of 15 years or so. And, I've helped a ton of people, but it's a numbers game. Some people are not going to be happy. My personality doesn't mesh with some people. Some people come in with expectations that are totally unrealistic. So when they don't have realistic expectations and then they don't get those unrealistic expectations, they want to tell everybody in the world. So that's probably what you came across. The other thing is public reviews. Some of them are real, some of them are fake. Some of them are competitors, some of them are people that were paid by competitors. So you take with a grain of salt. But we created the private Facebook group as a way for you to connect with real people. So these are our real patients that are there, and you can connect with them directly, so for sure with 1,000% sureness that person is real, and you can see their pictures and you can get the experience that they have had. And you got to realize that just because one person had a bad experience doesn't mean that everybody has a bad experience. I've had off days and I've had times when I didn't connect well with people, and so it is what it is. I'm human just like you are, so I can only do the best that I can do, and we just hope that everything works out the way that we want it to work out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But connect with some of the people in the group. Go to the private Facebook group. Okay, Chang, what's the pain level? It's different for everybody, which is, again, if you're going to read the reviews, you're going to see the worst case scenario. And you got to realize in any situation, there's always a worst case scenario and there's a best case scenario. So it is possible that you don't tolerate the medication well, the medication doesn't work for you, and it's more uncomfortable. On the flip side, there's people that are laughing the whole time, barely feel anything at all, and it's a piece of cake, it's a cakewalk. Just some people that the recovery is extremely difficult, challenging, they end up getting an infection, all kinds of issues. On the flip side, there's people that the wounds heal up within 2 weeks, and we never hear from them again because everything went great. Some people get tons of swelling, scar tissue, all kinds of weird stuff. Flip side, everything is perfect. Okay, so you got to realize there's a wide range of potential possibilities, and just because you see one person does not mean that another person will be the same. You got to look at why they got what they got, because there's always going to be reasons. So you got to do your research a little bit deeper than just reading some fake reviews or something. Can you explain the BBL process? Yeah, so the BBL process is it's two-step. You got the removal of fat for the carving out the shape. So typically for the BBL, I'm going to take the fat around the waistline, so we're going to create that hourglass figure and shape the butt by removing the fat in the lower back. And so that makes the waistline smaller, and then we add volume to the butt where needed to create that contrast of the smaller waist and bigger butt. And then also we can create the shaping with the liposuction. Okay, it is only 5 liters of fat you can take out or more. We take out what is safe for the individual, and what we found, and if you do the research, what they're finding, the 5-liter rule was something that they came out with about 30, 40 years ago, and it's outdated. What the more recent information is that it's more so a percentage of the body that you're removing. Therefore, on a larger individual, you can utilize more of the numbing medication. You can remove more volume safely. So again, we do what your body can do, and based on our experience, we are able to make the choices in looking at your pictures and figuring out what's safe for you. Oh, what's up, my buddy Mikey? Mikey Price is on here. Okay. Baby Owl says, Trevor and Kale gave me the hourglass figure when I thought I had the hopeless box-shaped body. See, that's what I'm talking about, and it happens all the time. Baby Owl, I'm not even sure who that is, but glad it worked out well for you. Okay, would you do liposuction and BBL together? In fact, that's the only way that it can be done. So liposuction is the removal of fat, or the collection of fat. You might think of it that way. So we're collecting the fat, and the BBL process is the fat transfer. We transfer the fat over into the area where the butt is. So you have to take the fat out of one area, which is liposuction, and BBL is the addition or fat transfer, adding back into the butt. Can you explain BBL? Just did. Okay. All right. I'm tired. Okay, can you explain the reasons why it can be dangerous to take out too much fat? So without getting into too much like medical terminology type stuff, it's believed that when you remove the fat, they call it a fluid shift. And so the fat it's almost as if we're taking out a volume out of your body, and then your body tries to shift the fluids in the body in order to accommodate the shift, the removal of this volume. So when we remove the fat, the body will try and fill the space that we just created with fluid, and the fluid to swell you up is coming from somewhere. So it's shifting from a different part of your body, and the fluid shift can cause effects to the rest of your body, and it can stress out the rest of your body that could cause some other problems. And what we have found with our patients is that when we push the limits more, so we go further into this removal of more fat and bigger, more dramatic results, the more fat that we remove, people respond by being somewhat dehydrated. And so what we experience is that they will be lightheadedness, dizziness, possibly fainting after the procedure. And that's typically in the first 1 to 3 days after the procedure. People experience different levels. And to avoid this, drinking more water and being very well hydrated will alleviate a lot of these symptoms. So that's why we recommend drinking a lot of water. Okay. Juliet says she wants to add the chin. So Juliet, we should likely be able to add that on the day of the procedure, just as long as you can pay for it. We're pretty flexible. I've done this stuff thousands of times, so adding on, changing the day of the procedure, it's just like a little speed bump for me. Yeah, Alicia says, you can tell you take pride in your work and how you change lives. Well, I've done it a long time, and it's really only fun when I see these awesome changes. Otherwise it's hard work. It's not easy. So it's only fun for me because I'm like collecting. I'm a collector of these life transformations, and that's why these journeys. And you can go on our website and you see what we've collected so far. We collect these stories of these journeys of people, how they continue to change their life, and those journeys get updated regularly as people post new information. Okay, Juliet, I know your procedure's come up, so I want to answer your questions really quick before I jump off. This is how much of the fat survives on average with the BBL if the person does everything they're supposed to do. I can quote you when you're talking about how much. Statistics is all I can say, and all that anybody can say, and the truth is that doesn't mean anything for you. But statistically speaking, they say that 50 to 60% of the fat that we inject will survive after the fat transfer. With that said, I've heard some people tell me that they believe a lot more than that survives, some people a lot less than that survive. And dependent on what you do afterwards, when you put pressure on the area afterwards, it tends to, more of the fat dies off. And when you keep pressure off the area, those people tend to do better and get better results. So we give these recommendations as guidelines, but you got to realize that I'm not there watching you. Nobody is. It's all up to you. And whether you follow the rules or don't follow the rules is totally up to you, and nobody knows. But when you start saying, hey, I didn't get the results that I was looking for, the fat didn't survive, whatever, then we're going to start asking, well, what happened? And you have to start going back in your mind, and the truth is, I don't know. What happens if one afternoon you had to drive somewhere, it was an emergency, and you sat down for 20 minutes Is that enough? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't make a difference. The only one that's going to know is you. And the only ones that's going to know whether you follow the rules is you. So just all you can do, I always just say this, just do the best that you can do and the results will be good. If you do the best that you can do consistently, the results will be good. All right. Thank you so much for jumping on here. I really appreciate each one of you for taking the time to to come in here and listen and ask questions, and I hope I answered them appropriately. If and when you are ready to change your life and start that transformation, the next step is getting your consultation. You got to click on that link up above in our profile or in the post on Facebook. Click on the link, get the consultation, and get started with your life change. Tracy, does a patient have to be a certain BMI to get the procedure? We do not limit our procedures based on BMI, and you can see from our pictures that we do very large individuals and we make huge dramatic change for those people. So again, thank you very much, and get your consultation, and we'll talk to you again next week.